Well, hi, good morning, and welcome to my shop. Thank you for joining me again today after yesterday's rather frustrating session in here, as I'm just discovering all the gaps in the instructions on how to align this radio. One gap in particular, there's no way to know where this pointer is sitting relative to the scale on the cabinet. And as I lamented on the last video, usually these radios have some kind of marks or indication of where things are. These are my marks. My marks, exactly. I am going to mark this up with the key positions, the key frequencies that are needed during the alignment. And I'm going to do that by putting the radio back in the cabinet and probably marking it on the back here somewhere. Oh my gosh, really? Peanut, I just got going here. Oh boy, he's getting me out there. What did you see? Did you see something out there? Peanut? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I am just going to do one thing here, then I'm going to go deal with my cat. One of you mentioned the idea that the 5Y3 rectifier tube was worn out, and you could tell because you could see the getter was worn out and gone. You couldn't see any getter in the tube. Here's the newer one, the better one. You don't see any getter in there either. The black up at the top is from tube operation. This one never went black. Hang on there, Peanut. If you look, way down in the bottom are the getter trays. Same with this one. They're located way down in the bottom there. So I'm thinking the getter flash is down low and you just can't see it. I've never heard of tubes wearing out as their getter wears out, right? The getter is the active chemical. Oh, yeah, there it goes. The getter is the active chemical they put in the tube to clean out the last few gas molecules, trap them chemically and hold them. And the getter actually functions during the whole life of the tube, because the tube will become gassy on its own without a leak, because some of the components inside here inevitably have a bit of gas left in them, some of the metal and other components, and that gas will come out, and then you can have ions floating around in here, and that causes problems in the tube. Grid current, I think, and other stuff. So the getter works the whole time, but you can kind of see the getter. There's two getter trays right at the bottom there. Okay, Peanut. I'm gonna deal with you. Hey, how's the pooing going? Okay, now let's make sure this cabinet is where it's going to be in the end. One way is to look at the knobs, and are they centered in the holes here? And they look a little high to me. Not bad though. Yeah, I don't think you can do anything more about the radio's position. Oh, I've left this wire under here. I just don't think that's going to affect the front very much. It's just elevated the back a wee bit. Yeah, I think that's good. That's exactly where the cabinet will go in the end anyway. So now let's take a look here. One of the things I noticed is if you just push the cabinet in, like I did, you can push it all the way up, and this pointer will drag up the back of this glass thing, which you do not want to have happen. I'm going to push it back a little bit further here, because it just looks like it's in contact still. Okay, there we go. Stick a knob on here. How about one that says tuning? Good. Okay, first thing to note is, where does it go at the bottom? So I kind of thought it must have made it all the way to this title bar line, but it doesn't. Let's go up to the top. This one it seems to line up on. A little hard to see there. goes up in behind a certain distance, but once it goes behind, you can't see where it went. I'm curious about how far up it goes. Okay, so I'm looking with no parallax right in the front. That's lined up now with the bottom line here. Oops. Okay, there it's lined up again. It goes a little bit higher. It strikes me if it were lined up perfectly on this top line, it would end up being lined up perfectly on this bottom line. Okay. Next question would be, is it level across? It's running on two strings on either side here, and it could be off. It looks pretty straight. Other than just looking at it. Now there's no instructions suggesting any of this really matters, but I think this angle one would. That's from the top of the title bar here to where that is. Let's see on the other side now. That would look to be dead on. Close enough, that's for sure. There's nothing seriously wrong here. Again, if this were just a regular shortwave radio with a vague sort of dial, I wouldn't be so intent on getting this as precise as I can. So 11.8 and 11.9, 10 channels, if you like, between there. That's still pretty tough to tune. But the thing is, you could tune in here. The signal is roughly, 11.85. You can look any information on the internet and discover there's a strong station at 11.84, and then that's where you are. So, with an even vaguer layout, more like this band, it's really tough to do that because it's so imprecise. Okay. I think I'm happy with the situation. On the front here, because I'm going to do a lot of work based on this, and then he's going to go up against another radio. So from back here, I think we can see here's the pointer slider right here. So I'm looking for somewhere I can mark it. Mark it just on the back of this panel. Yeah, this side's interfered with the capacitor, so I can go all the way down on this side and tick mark it. Okay, that's good. And the first mark is going to occur at 6 megahertz. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this because I think this is going to be boring to watch. And I'll get it done. Okay, so I have all the values written in there, and I have a little dot I have put right here. Whoops, you can't see it from my finger. A little dot, and the dot marks the centerpiece of this guy here. And there you are. Now I should be able to carry on with the alignment. Very good. So just to make this a little easier on me, if I can find my marker, I'm going to extend these marks around to the side plate here. we are. Okay. Now I gotta get better lamps. These guys are creaking. Sound like they're gonna fail any moment. So I'm going to have to let this warm up, let everything warm up for a bit before we start. You know, I kind of have a policy here. I always have the camera running whenever I do anything, but occasionally I don't follow my own policy. So what you just missed, I think, was me hooking the speaker up across B+. So there may be something left of my little speaker, or there may not at this point. See, one of the speaker leads popped off. Oh, it just came from here. No, apparently it didn't come from where I tried to connect it. So, okay, where do the speaker leads go again? Okay, there we go. Got it. Didn't blow the speaker sky high. Must have left my meter on overnight. Good. What's next here? So we're kind of at square one. Dummy antenna's in place. Oh, the antenna wires. Now it's time to straighten this out. What is going on with these wires back here? I want to get this correct now. We have 4 wires coming out. These two look original to me, and these two look like add-ins. They're not the same kind of wire as each other. This one looks like lamp cord, but they're all tied together in a knot in there as if they're original. So I'd have to think of somebody doing this after the fact. I don't think so. So I'm just wrong about my observations here about these different wires. They all go through the knot. You know what? There's 2 knots in there. Let me get my other camera going here. That's just me fiddling with the volume briefly. Okay, so here we have 4 wires going through, and I see the white and the black one are knotted together down there, and the black and the reddish one, I guess it would be this one here, and the shiny black. No, I think it's this one. I think it's this one here. These two, so these two are tied together in a knot. They must have something to do with each other. This one's been extended by somebody for some reason. Now the other two. So you know what I'm willing to bet is 2 of these go to the loop antenna I kind of forgot about on the back of the radio. Yeah, I have to sort this out. I have to get the loop antenna installed and connected here before I go any further. And then the other 2 is probably a ground and a antenna lead for a long wire shortwave antenna. So which 2 are the 2 that go to the loop? And you know, we have 3 terminals here. It looks like both black wires go to the center terminal, and then, you know, look, it's just grounded. So that takes care of the 2 black wires are ground wires. So the brown wire comes here, and the white wire goes there. There's a capacitor right here, so we should be able to sort this out by looking at the schematic. And the other one is a wire straight to a coil. So we should be able to figure this out on the schematic, which I happen to have right here. Let's just take a look at it. Okay, so there's the antenna coming in, and So this would be the wire antenna. The loop antenna is there. So the wire antenna comes in, goes through a capacitor. That must be the white wire. It's the white wire that hooks up to the terminal with the capacitor. So I write this down because if there's more than one thing, I'll get them turned around. So we think this is white. White. The black wire, they're not going to show anything here. It's a ground wire. It's pretty certain to be, well, I know it's coming from here because it's hooked up to the chassis. And this is hooked up to the chassis too. This big black wire. Big black bus. Now, what about the loop? So one side of the loop goes to a black wire to the ground, and the other side is going to be the remaining wire, which I think is the brown one. So the problem here is the white one isn't very white. It's kind of brown too. Put brown here. I believe I have them figured out. So now we're going to get the loop antenna and we're going to hook it up here. Hook it up there. So let's take a look now what somebody has done here in their wisdom. So here we see the loop antenna hooked up to terminals, and it's just a simple loop. But somebody made their own fantastic antenna, and you know, I got the right treatment for this antenna. This is the right treatment right here. Get rid of this. I need a little hookup wire. Looks like I'm going to get some of this. Well, why struggle? Not sure what somebody thought they were doing. This was a loop, a closed loop with a single wire coming from it. Okay. I'd like to pop the antenna right off here and just have it hanging behind the radio while I work. They've riveted it on. If I pop it off, it's not popping back on. Does that matter? Does that matter to me? So of course, fixing, like putting this somewhere, holding it, you need to hold it with non-conductive materials. You can't have a metal bracket or something. And that's what this whole back is doing. It's non-metallic, holding it up. If I just run clip leads from here, that doesn't matter how long these wires are. It probably does a little bit. Or I just solder it right on and put up with this thing being in my shop from now on, right up on the bench. You know what? Clip leads, because clip leads, you can do it and undo it. It's clip leads. It's clip leads. So the antenna forms part of the tuned circuit at the very front of the radio. You have to have the right coil, you have to have the right antenna. You can't just do this with any old thing. Well, you can, and the radio's going to work. It's just not going to perform as well as it might. Now, good thing I made notes because I've already forgotten. Brown wire. The brown wire. I said the brown wire that looks white. It doesn't look white. It's this one that got extended. So we're going to remove the extension here. Hey, how about a quick COVID update from Canada? So again, Canada's a very large country. It's regional. Different regions are having different experiences, but generally, everybody's scared in this country now. That's quite evident. And hospitals full. People being flown around on airplanes or transported to other hospitals that aren't so full. Hospital where I live, in my city of Aurelia, we have a hospital here. I think they said they had cleared 25 beds for sick people. They're full. The situation here has just rapidly changed in the last couple of weeks. Politicians getting beat up now, apologizing for their moves. One anyway is apologizing for his moves or lack of moves or whatever it is. I'm not sure what he's apologizing for, to be honest with you. The whole thing. Either black wire should do. Okay, let's put it on to the broadcast band and see what's happened here. Wait a minute, I have another. Hold on a second here. What am I doing? Hold on a second here. I need another clip. Whoop, started talking. Lost track of everything. Okay, here we go. And this goes on to the brown one here. I think. So I have the signal generator on the white one, which looks brownish, and I have the loop antenna on the brown. Okay, let's switch bands. Okay, this is the broadcast band. We've never picked anything up on this yet. Near the top is where we should get some stuff here in any one station would be nice. Well, nothing so far. Now it's just possible the antenna is turned completely wrong. In fact, it probably should be turned. Let's try it. Let's try this. Because I find these loop antennas got to be oriented this way to receive Toronto. So I'm just going to prop it here like that. Stations from Toronto. Are you there? Come in, Toronto. Calling Toronto. CQ, Toronto. That would be a nothing. What I'm going to do is blast at it a signal from the signal generator at roughly that frequency, which is probably about 600 there. You know what I did? I put the markings down here where I can't see them again. I should have done them up here. Oh my. Okay, I can survive. Right, so signal generator to, let's say, 590. There's a station at 590. Okay, here we come. Come on, radio. Okay, very low signal. Now I'm feeding the signal in on the shortwave antenna, but that should get through the radio, I think, somehow. There we are. Very nice. Now that's a very strong signal. I'm feeding it, but again, I'm feeding it on the wrong antenna, all that kind of stuff. Is this loop antenna doing anything? So I'm going to disconnect it and we'll see what happens here. See the meter? Disconnect. Almost sounds better in a way. Definitely louder with it connected. Okay, let's put this here. Now I'm going to disconnect the signal generator from the shortwave antenna. All is checking out good. Okay, we're ready. We're actually ready here. Holy smokes. So, again, first thing. First things. We go to the shortwave band and set it up for 6 megahertz. That's the first thing. Shortwave band. 6 megahertz. Okay, I have to, hey, maybe I could set up a camera back there. Looking at that stuff. Yeah, I'm going to stop for a second. Get a camera position. Okay, so there's a camera shot. Let me tune the radio a little bit here. Yeah. So you can see the little divot in the bracket there. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, that's great. We're all set. So the first one is 6 megahertz. That's pretty much where I have it right now. 6 megahertz. 6 megahertz on the shortwave band. Oh my gosh, we're almost ready to start. Holy smokes. It's been quite a while just to get to the starting gate here, basically. 600. Okay, volume up. By rights, this should be coming in. What do you mean by rights? No, 6 megahertz, Jim. 6 megahertz. There we are. So, tuned to 6, receiving 6.03. Okay, that's not too far off on this band. I'm going to attach the ground of the signal generator to the chassis here and see if this just doesn't quiet right down. I'm going to do it. Do it on this black wire. Doesn't make much difference. Kind of surprising. Oh, I don't have a direct connection here with the antenna. I've got the hot lead just on the insulation here. So this will make a difference. Let me turn it down. Still hear it. Good radio. There. What's with all that noise? Of course, this is a very low signal now. So we're in the weak signal on an antenna area. Kind of a moderately weak signal is what I would say. And that's how well it's working already. That's pretty good. Okay, oscillator adjustment. Is first on core of oscillator coil. So we're on a shortwave. Oscillator coil is here. Okay, oscillator coil is there. Now, what kind of slug do we need? What kind of tool do we need here? We haven't even looked. Let's see if we can see the slugs in there. No, not with this camera. Yeah, looks like they're slotted slugs. Okay, and I've got a couple of slot tools. If they're nice and loose, I can use this guy. Let's try it. If they're nice and loose. Okay, so I'm going to want to first find out if everything's ready to go here. So these holes don't line up 100% with the Oh yeah, and it's easy to turn. It's too easy. Wow. Okay. And we want to change the signal generator to be in the direction we want to go. And we're going to find it and learn which way to turn this. Oh, that's what I did. I'm in the wrong slot. I'm in the wrong hole already. Good thing this is the first one. There it is. Okay, just watch the meter and make it max. It's really put a knob on the tuning control here. Okay, let's double check the tuning position on the back. Is there parallax? There probably is. A little bit. Move it like that. That would look like the right spot to me. Oh, we're still way out in the parallax zone here. Let me move this again. Look at that. Okay, now we're lined up. Wow, okay, I almost got that quite a bit wrong. Okay, now again, adjusting that same adjustment, making sure I'm in the shortwave one. There it is. Okay, there we are. First adjustment. I think first adjustment done. Oh my gosh, I actually did it. Now, the next one, shortwave band, other end 9.6, oscillator trimmer on gain. Oh, here we go. Which one on the gain? I haven't sorted this out. Oscillator trimmer on the gain. Well, let's just continue and see what happens here. 9.6. Okay, 9.6. 9.6. And we tune to the other end of the dial here with the tuning knob. Okay, take a look at where we're going. Where are we going? Going down to the 9.6 dot. The radio got pretty quiet. Okay, now we got bad parallax happening again. So let me move the camera down about here. That should get rid of the parallax. I think that's the signal generator. Okay, that's lined up on 9.6. Now, tune in exactly 9.6, or where is it? More power. More power. Ooh, it's way up here at 9.8. It's way off. And I'm supposed to be adjusting the tuning thing on the capacitor. Holy smokes. Let's see what I can do with my camera here. I put this right up on the bench. It's sky high. Well, I'm looking through a few things here. Just put this up like that. It's a funny sound coming out of the radio, really. Oh, those son of a gun. Where are those? They're right up on the top. This isn't going to help here. Okay, so what we're going to do Come back down. That didn't work. Gotta be trying new things, you know. We'll use the other camera. And my camera crane here, I think will work. We just have to move the other camera back and forth every time we do something. Here, let me detangle it. Holy smokes. I think this is going to be a bit of a process, sorting out Oh, there they are. And my camera just fell over because I stepped on the wire. What are we going to do with these guys? So I kind of mumbled about what could be going on here with some kind of somewhat crazy ideas. Why there are so many. Why there are so many sections here. So you say antenna RF and the oscillator. And there's a big set of plates and a small set. And then there's 6 trimmers. None of them show wires attached, which is a little weird, but often there's another set of terminals at the bottom of these things, towards the chassis, which is probably where all the wire connections are made. So I'm looking. Oh, I stepped on the camera wire again. Yeah, make a better job of it here. Camera, don't go anywhere. Just bear with me while I freeze my camera wire. Okay. Camera's on an unusual angle, that's why I'm having trouble with it. Okay, stay put, Mr. Camera. So conceivably, one of those 6 sets of plates is the local oscillator, tuning capacitor. If I were to contact it, it should be obvious. Let's try that to start off with. That's amazing. Well, it didn't do a darn thing. Hey, what's happening here? It's definitely tuning it. I would have thought just touching those plates would throw it off. Especially I was shorting out a few of them. How can that be? Oh, what? Nothing. So the rotating plates are grounded. And I kind of thought fiddling with them would do it, but I guess I got to fiddle with the stators. That's a little more awkward to do here. Okay, so now that sounded like an oscillator. Not sure. How about this one? So this one, the signal appears to just get weaker when I interfere with the plates. And this last one, same sort of thing. Now what about those little guys? What are they meshing with? the meshing plate down there. Whew. Okay. Very, very hard to see from where I am. Okay. Stay right there. Don't move. So that's tuning again. I wonder. That's not tuning. So I think this is the oscillator guy here. Just to prove it, I'm going to tune the radio slightly off and then approach the plates and find it tuning in. Or farther out. Farther out. Let's go the other way. Okay, so I've tuned just barely past it. And there you see it tuning in. Good. Oscillator plates. Now there's two oscillator adjustments up here. What am I going to do about that? Oh. I elbowed my other camera here. Well, isn't that just a hunky-dory? It doesn't seem to say anything here about that. It just says, let's see what it says exactly. Oscillator trimmer on gain. It never says anything else. Well, what are the chances here that the small plates are for the band spread in the radio, and the big plates really are just for the shortwave band? That doesn't make any sense to me. And look at those outside plates have been bent out by somebody, no doubt in the factory. So there's been an alignment attempt to what? I don't know how to describe it. Well, there's two screws up here I can adjust. Let's try one to see what happens. Just tune the radio in better. .9855 is the frequency we're on, and I think we're supposed to be at 9.6, so we're way off. So we want this to go down. I'm going to turn the signal generator downwards. I wonder if it's just coarse and fine. Downwards. A little more volume. Okay, we're going to first screwdriver check. Oh, that's interesting. This one has an effect. This one does not. Oh, hey, what happened there? Oh my gosh. Oh, these smokers. What I think is happening is there's so much dirt on these capacitors that they're kind of shorting out, or something funny's happening with them, but I got a huge improvement for virtually no movement in it. Let me just hit it with a brush. What happens if you just brush these things? And we use a toothbrush on them. Now this might just knock them out of a, knock the whole. Oh. Okay. Pretty sensitive, eh? Of course they would be. See the dust flying here? How's that going to help? Okay, so we want to turn one of these. Let me get a better tool here. See if I can get one that's going to do the trick. All plastic, but it won't go in the screws. Okay, we have more ways. We have more ways. How about this way? So we'll try this one. It's got a long shaft, but it's fairly stiff. Even that's affecting it. Yeah, proximity of it. Oh my gosh. It's all jumpy. Trying to tell if it's my tool that's, I think I'm spring loading this shaft and it's causing it to jump. So regardless of the metal effect, I'm going to use this one here and see if it's still just as jumpy. Yep, still jumpy. So you spray that with something? Spray them up. Okay. I don't think we're going to set a fire off this time. Just don't hit the tube. Hit a tube with this stuff and pow! The spray actually affected it there, didn't it? That smoothed it right up. Perfect. Now I've got this metal screwdriver I'm doing this with. Let's switch back to the springy one. So I think if you read a book on how to do this kind of stuff, they'll tell you to turn the screw. Well, they won't tell you anything about all the problems you're going to encounter doing it. Smooth as can be. You can't even see me turn the tool, can you? Gotta go the other way. Smooth as can be. Come on. Okay, so we're able to do this. That's what this amounts to. You can now pull this off. Hey, what about the other screw? That didn't seem to have any effect. Let's find out. I'll get this so we can hear it. I have to have it so we can hear it. Okay, get it on the edge. Kinda. Now what happens with this one? I have no idea what I'm doing. That's not doing. We lost it. We gotta have it making some sound here. Where'd it go? It's just drifted off on its own there. Well, it seems to have a minimal effect. I don't know, is that coarse and fine? The other thing is, these small plates are not physically the same size as these plates. Now what does that mean exactly? And look, they actually have splits in them and everything for tuning purposes. And there's nothing said about this anywhere. And when it says adjust the trimmer, it says it's not plural. Interesting here. Where's my camera? Where's the camera? Where's the camera? Where's the camera? Quickly. Anybody find me a camera here? You read this really carefully. Oscillator trimmer. RF trimmers on gang. RF trimmers on coil unit on gang. Oscillator RF trimmers. Oh, this is two things though. Oscillator and RF trimmers on gang. Is that the same thing up here? RF trimmers. Oscillator trimmer. I really gotta bloody well pick this thing apart letter by letter. Oscillator and RF trimmer. So we don't know what that means. Cores. Cores. Plural? Cores. Oh, because this is oscillator and RF coils. That's why. That's why it's cores. But here's cores of RF coils. Wow, you really got to read this carefully. It's always coils, because it's always two. Cores of RF coils. I wonder if that's a mistake. They put coils there by accident. You know, this is normally a pretty darn straightforward process, really, with minor problems along the way. But this thing has been incredibly puzzly. So where am I? So I've done the 9.6. I haven't even done the 9.6. Let's get the 9.6 done. You know what? If I can get through the shortwave and the next one is the broadcast, get the broadcast done, I think that'd be good for today. Because how long have I been in here? I don't know. I don't know. So we want to tune to 9.6 and then adjust the oscillator trimmer on the gain, which I think I know what it is now. So let's get the camera back where it needs to be here. Actually, it doesn't need to be back there right now, but we're going to put it back there. Get it past all wires and junk and stuff that's here. There we are. Okay, that's kind of ready to go. And where are we tuned? Are we tuned to 9.6 exactly? A little out of focus there. Maybe I'll just fix that because I'll be looking at this a fair bit. So slightly off. If we want it right on the 9.6, it'll be right there. Parallax is good. Okay, 9.6. So I'm going to tune the, yeah, that's just going to stay like that now. We'll tune the signal generator, find out where it actually is. It's gotten worse. It's almost at 10. Okay, so on the going down side, okay, make the oscillator adjustment. Increase that signal, then we know which way we're going. Tightening. Okay, I'm gonna tighten it right up because it's so far to go. So I've tightened it up pretty snug already. Where do we end up? We got quite a ways. We're trying to get to 9.6. We got to 9.7. Put the metal screwdriver to it and crank it down a little further. Or is it that other one I should be adjusting? Okay, there we go. I can't see. Oh my gosh, there we go. It took me that long just to get the screwdriver in. Okay, gonna crank it tighter. Now I'm going to fool with that other trimmer and see if it doesn't bring in this. You know what? It's trying, but that's the limit of that one. I'll go back to the big one here. What's going on? I'm whacking it. Oh my gosh, look at how close I am. Okay, so now I'm getting down into the needle width, you know, on the front of the radio here. I think we made it. I think we darn well made it. Oh. So, usually you got to go back and forth, but this is my first time through, so I'm not going to try to make it, you know, perfectly precise. We're going to do broadcast band next. cores of the oscillator and RF coils. Okay, and those will be through here. And we do that at 600 kilohertz. Okay, I'll get all that set up here. Okay, we're set to 600, roughly anyway. Broadcast band. Oh, that's right, this is just coming from the antenna here now. I wonder, yeah. Let's just leave everything as is. So I'm actually feeding the signal from the signal generator on the shortwave antenna line, but that's okay. That just gets it nice and close to the radio antenna, I think. So, right. So first we need to dial this guy to exactly 600. And 600 is right up there. Okay, let me get the parallax just correct here. Okay, there we are. Wow. I mean, it's virtually right on the money. I mean, how accurate is my dot there? Well, I'm just going to leave that. It says here to do, didn't it say two things to do here? So we're at 600 cores, of oscillator and RF coil. So you know, we must do the RF coil. Might as well do them both then. So broadcast band, oscillator, and broadcast band RF core. Okay, oscillator first. Oh, I don't have this tuned to 600 exactly. Okay, try to bring that in. My tool's not going to fit through the hole. Well, there's no one thing, it's something else. Where'd that one sticky one go? I don't think this can work. It's not going to go in the slot. Here's the one I'm looking for. Again, very flexible one, so it's problematic. But if the cores are easy to turn, there it is, and I turned it. Okay. Oh, look at how much range I've got. That's lovely. Let's get the meter to come up a little bit. Don't know what those jumps are, but there we are. Very good. Now we go to 1500. Okay, I'm just going to set this camera to eliminate the parallax again. 1500, that looks like, yeah, you can see where 1500, where's the dot? Well, the 1500 has a little line pointing at the dot. Here comes 1500. Right there. Okay, is it going to receive 1500 here? $14.37. Okay, and we're adjusting. Uh-oh. No, on 1500 RF trimmers on gain. Trimmers. Okay, so do you mean the big plates and the small plates together? I think they mean that. 1500. But there's no oscillator adjustment here. So I think what you have to do is tune the radio in on this signal and peak it, and that's the end of that. There's no upper. So it says RF trimmer. It doesn't say oscillator trimmer. But it's on the gain. Yeah, it's not on the RF part of the gain. Wait a second now. The core of the oscillator. Here. Core of the oscillator. Trimmer on the gain. RF trimmers on the gain. Isn't this gain capacitor involved in controlling the oscillator frequency for this band? Yes. So why am I stuck here? No way to adjust the oscillator. Oscillator coil, then the only thing that's on the gain, there's no, yeah, there is oscillator trimmer on the gain. Wow, okay, so they, maybe when you turn that band switch, a lot of things are changing in this radio. Well, let's just press on. We press on, 1500 RF trimmers on gain. Which ones? Well, not the oscillators. This has really got me quite turned around here. I know there's something I'm just not quite getting about this radio. Okay, I'm going to try this on the gang. You know, do I tune the radio in? Do I? What do I do? Why is there an oscillator core trimmer, and then you're not doing the capacitor trimmer up here? Because you already did the trimmer for that when you did the shortwave. So this is a question now of forcing everything to kind of line up with that shortwave setting. I don't know what I'm talking about even. And the day is wearing on. Who's who here? Still oscillator, of course. Well, it doesn't tell you anything about which is which. I got 4 screws to pick from. This is crazy. This is crazy because again and again it asked me to come up and do RF trimmers on the gang. It says oscillator and RF trimmers on gang. What? Then down here, the 25, 19, and 16 meter bands are just cores. So we're only doing oscillator RF trimmer. Trimmer on core. Wow, I'm just totally messed up here, man. I can't believe it. I'll turn around, I can get RF trimmers on gang. Well, okay. RF trimmers on gang. First time through is written off to education anyway. So these are cranked wide open here. That didn't seem to do a thing. Oscillator will leave alone. And this little guy. So I can hear the tone, but it's very, very faint because it's not tuned in. Oh boy. I don't know what to think. That's a pretty strong signal I'm shooting at the radio. It's not, and it's straight into the antenna now. Why so weak? Is it picking it up anywhere else? I always get fooled by the image here. Sure seems like a sensitive radio though. I mean, okay, I think I may know why things are a little weak here. I have a setting on my signal generator way low. It didn't make a lot of difference, did it? Let's take a moment and calibrate this guy just to be sure he's in the ballpark. Setting this meter. Okay. So now 10 microvolts times this multiplier. 1,000 microvolts. That's a fairly strong signal. This radio's not performing well for that. There's a chance, but no. Okay, so I'm just fooling around now with the signal generator lead. Wow. Let's do it like this. That's more what I would expect from this kind of signal level. Okay, so what have we managed to do? We've managed to find out what? Let me look at the... see where exactly we're tuned back here. Back to 1500. Oh, I'm right here. No oscillator adjustment to bring that in. So I guess we max it. Just watching the meter. Oh, you can't see it. You're watching nothing there. Watching the meter jump around. I don't know what that is. Nothing we can hear. Okay, the radio's tuned in as good as I can get it. Now I want to make sure this is maximized. Difference. Tiniest amount. I'm going to short the stator plates out. It's definitely doing something. Not so much on this middle one, but definitely this. I think that's the end of the road with that. Let's see what we can pick up now. I don't think it made any real difference. Okay. Should be able to pick up 3 or 4 stations down around here. thing. Okay, so we will set the signal generator to 590, where the stronger station is. 590. Okay, I will find it on here. I would never imagine 590 up this high, but okay, get this out of the way. Voila. Okay, so I've monkeyed with the antenna over here. Let's take the signal generator off the loop antenna. Oh, made quite a difference. Okay, come on. Oh. I hear it. It takes a bit of imagination, but it's there. It's terrible. Fact is, I don't think I'm gonna listen to AM radio with this radio. I listen to shortwave for sure, but not AM. I use other radios if I want to do AM listening. Actually, I use modern transistor radios for that. Okay, so we've sort of slugged it out here through 2 alignment processes. Not too happy with the outcome, but it is what it is. We're just going to continue on through all this tomorrow. And then we'll see what we got for a radio. So there's still capacitors in here to be changed. So I want to kind of raise the performance of the radio to as high as I can get it right now. With better tubes and everything, better alignment, and then go after some more capacitors and see if we can even get more out of this guy. That's my scheme. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm going out in the sunshine now. See ya.